yeah, and so you're
Yeah.
no longer feeling the pain, and and you start exploring places within yourself, and it was really it got to the point where I just looked at those beings around me in both occasions and said to them, "It doesn't matter what you do to me, I will always love you." And in that moment, I would say I got beyond all victimhood, and I have to say that was the most powerful thing I've ever said. And when you can get to that point, you really got to the big stuff. I'm not saying that to have tickets on myself. I'm saying that because I experienced that and I achieved that. And people can judge me however they like, but when you can do that, you really are coming from a place of unconditional love.
Oh, well, I would only judge you in a positive way for that. So I don't see how anybody else could judge you any other way. Um,
You'd be surprised. You'd be
yeah,
surprised
I
what's
would.
going on out
Yeah.
there.
Um, will sending this unconditional love help Gaia, Sophia, and other humans with the ascension process?
Uh, yeah, it does. The biggest thing that would help Gaia at the moment is just a bit of gratitude. It's really simple. To help Mother Earth at the moment, just acknowledge her. She just doesn't even enter anybody's thoughts. The overwhelming majority of the population on the planet doesn't even think about her. You'd be lucky if they think about her in a way of gratitude once a year, if that.
Mhm.
There's
Oh, I
people who
know.
go through year after year and don't even give her a thought. All they think about is their cars and the job and the renovations on their home and saving up for a holiday and just matrix stuff. So yeah, it just begins with acknowledgement and appreciation, and because we hear about Ted, um, and his sacrifice was far, far greater than we've been told. I mean, a lot greater than what the church has revealed to humanity. And I know the truth about this, and I've had debates in the Vatican about this stuff. I've been taken there in their ships. They got a fleet of UFOs, and they pick people up and move around behind the scenes. Lots of governments have got them, so I'm not saying anything stupid. And I had a massive heated debate with cardinals and whatever in the Vatican. My memory got screamed, but I do have memories of what was said, and it got really heated. And yeah, so they were terrified. They threatened me and everything, and they're terrified of me revealing this information. But the truth is, there's a beings whose sacrifice is even greater than the male Christ's energy, and that's the feminine Christ, the Christ Sophia, and her sacrifice is even greater, the divine feminine's. So that's the forgotten hero in all of
Wow.
this, and I do talk about it
Yeah.
often. And there's a big story behind this. And for me, every woman on this planet's a hero because for us men, we have no idea what they go through from moment to moment because each woman is experiencing that archetypal sacrificial life of servitude. And there's women who
Wow.
resent it, that go against it. And really what's happening here in this world is so beyond what a man's, I've only just scratching the surface of it, and it freaks me out. I've broken down so many times trying to connect with it and understand it. So, yeah, it's so deep for the woman. It's really, really deep.
Wow. Yeah, that's great. Well, thank you, George. And I'm going to send the next question on to Gemini.
Okay.
George, in a previous interview, you mentioned that your alien family came to you and showed you many realms. Can you please expound on this fascinating experience?
Oh, that was really good because, you've got this thing called universal law of non-interference. So I'm just going to preface it with that because people say, well, how can you have beings coming from a high domain who abide by the law of non-interference, yet you got, picked up? Well, you see, I organised that prior to my incarnation, so they're not interfering. They're actually going with my contract. So they weren't interfering. So they came at a particular point in time, and I wasn't aware of it until after my experience I had with them. So, yeah, they picked me up, and we went with a smaller shuttlecraft, and we went to a much larger craft. And they facilitated this incredible experience for me to go up through the dimensions of our universe. And because everything that animates me into existence came out of this body. And so what happened was the body would have perished. So they looked after it for me while I took this journey with my I Am presence. And what happened was what kept my body alive was not technology, but was our unified field of love that we have together with my galactic family. So it was our unified love energy that kept my body going. And so I got to come out of my body and then travel the universe and then come back. It was an incredible experience. When I got back, I couldn't stop laughing because at the point of when I was just lying there on this really comfortable, like loungish sort of chair, laid back sort of chair, I still had a lot of the lower ego happening. And then when I came back, at that point in time, I remembered everything. I had full recall, and I just couldn't stop laughing because I rediscovered what life was all about. And the laughter was incredible. It was so deep, so beautiful, and we all hugged and laughed together. And it's just phenomenal when you break free from this matrix and these lower domains. You really, it's quite comical on one level. And then since I've come back into the into this matrix, it's kind of like a pea soup. So I've got fragments of it, threads of it, just enough to share enough information with people that'll help trigger their awakening. So it was incredible. I mean, here's me traveling up from the big ship and then going just with pure I Am consciousness, and I'm traveling up and I'm basically just seeing the galaxy just spiral right down into a tiny little dot of light, and all these galaxies just shrinking into a tiny vortex of light, and my consciousness then just popping out, emerging with an even greater aspect of myself. And then just looking, I remember from that greater aspect, looking at this tiny little vortex of light and knowing that one little spin, which happened very quickly, in about half a second, a spin of that vortex of light was eons and eons and eons and eons of evolution down here in the cosmos. It was just phenomenal. And so when I got to see outside the universe and see into the omniverse and see universes as far as I could see and understand that we're all infinite. I mean, we're all infinite. There's no one God that is the ruler of all things. I mean, that's insanity from a demigod who's got an ego that's totally deluded, who resides at the lower end of this universe. There is not one God that rules all. Sure, there's God, the creator of this universe, but when you connect with the creator of this universe, it'll be the first being to tell you that you exist infinitely beyond it does as a universe. And all those universes out there are us, and we've all projected aspects of ourselves inside this universe. And we do that to each other. You've got your universe happening out there. And Jules, you've got your universe happening out there. And, and everybody has got their universe happening out there. And we're all inside one another, because when we express ourselves in a universal construct, each expression is unique. And therefore, they're all different constructs. So we've all come inside this one, and this being is expression is light. And we've come inside to learn this construct we call light. And that's what it's all about. But as far as the totality of life goes, there is no totality. We've never been born or spawned out of any God matrix construct, and that we are totally infinite, and that nothing exists beyond each one of us, and that we are all the all together.
Okay, that makes sense. And in that same interview, you discussed how we exist in a matrix where the Christ consciousness is in control. How many matrices are there, and how do we, in your opinion and or experience, end up in this Christ consciousness?
Well, the Christ consciousness, what people label the Christ consciousness, the real one, is basically just the creative personality of God, or the creator of this universe. That's what it is. And that is the spark of life, or the essence of life that helps create and manifest and express life into existence in this universe. That's its basic definition of it, and it's a wonderful energy. It's like, because we've been deprived and we've been taken to the extreme of separation, when someone even experiences even a conditional love energy, they think it's like a child to candy. It's just a wonderful thing. But really, the level of consciousness that I'm talking about, it's inside each one of us. And the sun is a fractal of that energy as well. The consciousness of the sun is actually the male expression of our universe manifested himself as the sun. So you've got the male and the female that are facilitating this experience for us firsthand. And it's an incredible energy. I mean, yeah, that's why people do that solar gazing and all that. It really just, there's a part of us that's in the sun. Our heart, we're in the heart of the sun. We're all children of the sun.
Interesting. You had discussed meeting a dark council in an interview with Veritas, where you had met with them and thanked them for giving you the experience that you had. Who are they? From where do they rule? And how were you able to be in their presence?
Yeah, can you just say that again, please?
The dark council that you met with.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow.
And you had thanked them. And what I would like to know is, from where do they rule? And how were you able to be in their presence?
Well, I don't choose these experiences. I don't sit there as George and say, okay, now I want to have this experience. Everything, even astral traveling, I never willingly astral traveled. Everything that I've experienced has just happened. So it's just my life's course, my journey. And it's really, I've had a crazy life. I mean, it's extraordinary, the experiences that I've had. Yeah. And these dark lords, they're like a council, because the way it works, the dark side, I mean, really, if people think the dark side's not working for God, or the creator of this universe, then they've got to think again. I mean, if anything exists in this universe, the creator created it, I had this incredible debate with this Christian once, and I said, did God create evil? He said, oh, no. Oh, God would never do a thing like that. I said, oh, is that right? Yeah, it was a real fanatical Christian. And I said, are you sure about that? He said, yeah. No. I said, what's evil then? He said, evil is the absence of light. I said, oh, okay, so does evil exist? He goes, oh, yeah. I said, oh, so then God created evil. Oh, no. And we kept going round and round in circles. Eventually I said, so is your God the creator of all things? Oh, yeah. I just left it at that. He just missed the point altogether. So, these lords of darkness, these are the ones that manage the dark side here and do work in conjunction with the creator. See, somebody's going to manage the dark side of things. And this is a perspective from beyond duality now. This is getting out of victimhood, okay? So, really, these guys do an incredible job. And I got to the point where I just found myself in front of them. And I said, right, I actually want to kneel before these guys and in all humility and say to them, thank you. Thank you for all the misery, all the suffering that they've ever imposed on me, not just in this lifetime, but also in other lifetimes and in other realms, because I would not have had the learning and the experiences and the challenges and not have created that charge in my soul without having these experiences. So technically speaking, everybody should be eternally grateful for these beings and what they have done, because they have provided the infrastructure and the environments for people to incarnate into and have incredible experiences and learn and grow. And if people are stuck in victimhood and they're still stuck in the drama of duality, they won't grasp that concept. They'll just think it's crazy.
All right. Thank you, George.